I have leads.
That boy look like Medea. Let go, Medea.
Turnover by Lord. Blocked by Armstead. Two into the end zone. Caught for the touchdown! Caught for the touchdown! Waddle! Miami has taken the lead.
What's going on, boys?
What up? What up? What up?
What a start to the week.
Long time no talk here. We are finally back, and the draft is approaching.
Are we
I was
excited
pretty
about
excited.
this? Yeah, like I don't I don't know how I feel right now.
I don't
Well,
feel anything.
If you weren't excited after Chris Greer's press conference, I don't know what to tell you.
Is there any GM in any sport that is less motivating than him?
Motivating? No, probably not. No.
Like you get excited or you actually have any sort of belief that this guy is like excited about his job and he wants to actually do something?
He looks like he's a prisoner of some sort, being held there against his will sometimes to make these decisions.
Just looks miserable, dude.
What was the purpose of the press conference? Was it just to like announce that we're not tanking and we're gonna trade an all-pro player?
Sounded like it was all about Ramsey because before he even took any questions, he said, "Okay, so we decided that we're trading Ramsey, or it's in our best interest and his. Now I'll take questions." So it seemed like that was
Well,
like the purpose to me.
you had the Ramsey rumors circulating with the Tyreek rumors, and I think for some reason he wanted to let everybody know, yes, Ramsey is for sale, but Tyreek is not. He really need to emphasize that for some reason.
Interesting. I mean,
Two players.
nothing that anyone says or does can take away the suspicion that Tyreek may not be here next year. So
When you say next year, do you mean like this coming year, or do you
yeah,
mean like?
this season.
I just don't see how we can trade him with the money situation and then him just crushing his value. But I mean, you know my feeling on it. I am glad if he will not be on the team. I mean, if you're gonna strip the whole thing bare, don't leave a guy like that who, in my opinion, probably isn't a good locker room influence hanging around. I would try to trade him for whatever you can at this point, but I just don't know what we can get. I have more faith we can probably get stuff for Ramsey because he's already been paid some money, and I think he's really only guaranteed this next year. But I don't know, fellas. Probably never been this kind of disinterested before a draft in the upcoming season ahead. Even years where we held a top pick, not a middle of the round pick. But I don't know. I'm bummed. I'm bummed out.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get something out of Ramsey that's worth the while. I mean, for as bad as Chris Greer's been, that seems to be one of the few things that he can do is move players for a certain value. Hoping that we at least get that, especially if this is going to be his last year, maybe get his least amount of fingerprints on the roster as possible, really.
I just have this like this dark cloud that hangs over my head whenever I think about the Dolphins, and like the cloud is Chris Greer for like 3 more years minimum.
You think like future?
What's the over under? What do we say?
How is he
How
still
many
here?
years?
Yeah.
He should have been gone after this past year. So to
2.5 years is a good line to set it at.
I
for
think
under or over.
I hope he doesn't make it more than 2 years unless we make the playoffs and actually do something in the playoffs.
I don't think either of these guys are here after this year, just with how the roster's shaping up and what he looked like yesterday, and then simultaneously, I think what we've all seen from McDaniel. And I mean, if you had sound leadership, your best players wouldn't be wanting out. I mean, we just lost, it's not even just like some of the talent, it's the leadership. I mean, we lost, if we trade Ramsey, we would have lost 5 captains from last year's team.
Jeez. And that last year was a turnover of captains too.
It's just so hard to fan of these guys. You want to be, but at the same time, you're like, oh, Like you guys just kick me right in the you know what every time, every season.
They've
But-
made it really hard to get excited this year specifically. That like all the like allure with McDaniel is kind of worn off, and I don't know why anybody would have any faith or hope in Greer. So coming into the season, no major free agency moves besides, retirements and losses. Like nothing positive really, just little tiny moves.
I don't mind some of the moves people we brought in. I think what kills me
It's
is
just not exciting at all. It's just very like we
I
seem
like-
like we're about to be mid, and we're okay with being mid this year, and we're just gonna
we
mid
were,
it up.
we were mid last year, and you can definitely say that you're not better, arguably worse in some areas. Definitely like defensive line.
You take
safety.
Jalen Ramsey off of last year's team, and then couple it with the additions that
fair.
we've
He was
made. We are
responsible for
100% worse. We are 100% worse.
Yeah, no, I got it. I do think like a healthy James Daniels is better than any interior O-line we had last year, so that's a positive.
Yeah.
The fact that this whole offseason sometimes seems like a troll job. I never forget when I saw the text from our group saying that Liam's back. I was like laughing my head off. I think I was golfing, but I was laughing so hard. And it kills me because you guys know that's my son's name, so it's like that guy's like my least favorite person in the world, and then I got my favorite person in the world, so it's just like, what a complex. But yeah,
you
I
did
don't
it
know.
to yourself. I would like to throw that out there.
It's a great name, man. It's one bad egg.
You
Liam
coulda
Neeson's
named him
great. I know
Sut.
everybody here likes him.
So where?
He already had that lock loaded, ready to go, and I gotta say, convinced me.
That sounds like a
Won
four-star
me over
committed to
real
Ole
quick.
Miss.
Liam Hemsworth, come on, man.
Nope, Liam Eichenberg. Jesus
what a name,
Christ. Anyway, let's move on from that. But
What do you rank our top 3 needs as of now, given the Jalen Ramsey news?
Defensive tackle is still number 1 for me.
Okay.
Because you legitimately, outside of Zach Sealer and Benito Jones, don't have any NFL experienced players on the roster. Like you have 2, and you need at minimum like 2 more that are going to play significant reps, let alone probably 3 or 4 more total. So defensive tackle, but because you probably need 2 of them, I don't necessarily know if you're going to, utilize a premium like 13 pick. I don't even also know if there's 13 that makes sense. Safety, I sounded like Greer. Did you guys pick up that he's like, I think the starters are in the room. So basically you're going to rely on Ashton. Listen, hold on. Ashton Davis to me, like I've actually always kind of been low-key a fan of Ashton Davis. He was on the Jets. He's not worse than how Jordan Ployer played last year. So if that's one, okay, whatever. That you're not better, you're not worse, whatever. You're
I don't think starting Patrick McMorris in year 2 with barely any reps is going to be worse than what we got out of that last year. That was negative production. He was a liability.
I'm trying to say his name, Melifonwu, Ifutu Melifonwu, right?
Ifutu, the Lions cat.
He's, a talented guy who's just off injured, which fits our mold. We love these guys. I don't know. I mean, it's not like Javon was playing a all-star level. I know he definitely got worse. I agree. Losing Jalen Ramsey, obviously, that's going to be bad. Cornerback, safety, D-tackle. I don't think you need to draft linebacker. I don't think you need to draft edge.
No, hell no. You spent too much money on that you didn't get any production out of last year.
We've been doing nothing but drafting edge players.
I still think you're an offensive guard and probably a mid to late developmental swing tackle. Tight end's probably a luxury, which sucks because you need one.
What do you mean? We have Julian Hill.
Stop.
We still got Hayden Rucci sleeping back there.
You guys are all going to sit here and say we need to draft a quarterback. No, we don't. Dead ass. No, we don't. We don't have the picks to do it at a high level. If we draft a quarterback high, then you're going to completely not have anybody rosterable at a certain position.
You're going into a rebuild without actually taking all the other steps to be in a rebuild, drafting a quarterback high.
Right. Not high. I definitely think with one of those 6/7s, throw a project. You should always throw a project.
Oh
up,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Why don't you just go get an undraftable guy and put him there? Go
That
bring
works
back
too.
Huntley, whatever, man. Bring him on
Huntley's
and let
where
him.
Cardinals now.
What?
I'll,
Seahawks?
I
Maybe.
think Tyler Huntley's in the Cardinals now.
Oh, well, whatever, man. I don't know. Bring in somebody else. I don't know. Who cares? Let Zach Wilson play it. He at least will play.
Oh God.
yeah, he's on
hard.
the Cardinals.
Is he? Shoot.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, backing up Skylar, he's backing up another midget.
Nope.
I think you nailed it with safety, though. Safety, could be good to go. It could be an issue. But I think no matter what, you have to find two guys that can start for the secondary immediately. I don't know if you're going to hit on two in the draft.
Yeah.
If they can, that'd be awesome. But if we're going to roll back up with
who's
Storm Duck, Cater Kohu, and Ethan Bonner as our nickel defense,
And Cam Smith's out there competing. I mean, that's.
it's Cam Smith or Ethan Bonner for that third spot. And then after that, it's
I guess
Ryan
you could
Cooper.
re-sign Kendall Fuller at a lower cost. He's still available. Again, don't really.
Artie Burns is an interesting one if he can stay healthy.
No, it's
But I'm pulling it.
My
Whatever
opinion,
I
I
can, man.
think-
He's a cane.
I think cornerback hops to the top for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I feel
I
two ways about it.
Premium.
One,
It's a premium position for sure.
it's like a glaring hole now if you take into
Yeah.
consideration what we know about Cam Smith. I mean, what Chris Greer said is, there's conflict with that approach because he said he needs Cam Smith, they're relying on him. That's pretty much what he came out and said, which tells me they're not going to draft Will Johnson at 13, which, or if he's available, I think that would be the way I would go about it just because it's such a glaring hole. And it's not like, it might not be a great idea, but I feel like you could scoop two defensive tackles up and just throw them in the mix. It's not ideal, but you can get that.
I think
Sealer might even make him the one guy better next to him, but you can't just go scrape some
You need a
cornerback up.
you need a space eater next to Sealer more so, and that's not really something I would take at probably 13 overall.
Yeah.
I do like the second round options for a nose or a two gap type defensive tackle. I think you're right. I think you're perfectly correct. I think the NFL and I think the way you value premium positions, cornerback is a premium position. It's also it's not like a lot of people seek. It's such a hard position. People really
Yeah.
cornerback. They want to play receiver. They want to catch the ball. But
Corner is
point
the
being-
second hardest position on the field outside of quarterback.
right, I agree completely. But
Yeah, I do too, from a fan perspective for sure.
From
And
any
you have-
at any level, if you can't cover, you're gonna get bombed on. And if they find out you're a bad corner, you have a bad cornerback situation, you're done. They can run the ball at him. They can throw the ball at him.
It's hard in the sense that you become an immediate liability on a large scale. But I've heard people make the argument that center is up there with difficulty.
Agreed, because if you can't get a snap off, you can't run a play for sure.
That and
But-
you kind of know everything that's going on in the field, regardless of the position you play. The mental aspect of what you need to know at center.
I do think
For sure.
I do think that this draft matches up. I've said it in past years, but probably won't follow it. But I do think the needs we have, the draft matches up at a good amount positions. Even though I think cornerback has a clear cut top three. You got Hunter, who we all agree probably will not be available unless something on draft night, Laramie Tunsil situation.
If
happens.
he gas masks it, I will start going back to church every Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah,
If
something
he
happened.
falls to us at 13, I will go back. I will become a God-fearing man. I'll get baptized. I'll do all that.
Imagine he just lines up at corner for us and then comes in on special packages in the red zone or something.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And returns
He'd be-
kicks.
He'd be cut out for this city, but that ain't happening. He's probably gonna go to Cleveland and rock there.
All I know is there's somebody in our
He'll
group
rock
chat
it.
that would hate it if we drafted him even at 13.
Nah, he would
Yeah.
hate Shador, not Travis. I
Ugh.
think Travis ends up a Miami Dolphin year 8 or 9 into his career.
Yeah.
Cleveland rotted him. He got a ring in LA or somewhere cool. Did 2 or 3 years there.
Yeah,
It's
he
tail
will
end of
be
his
shot.
career. He's coming to chill. Yeah, he'll give us 3 years, so he'll be here eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll retire. He'll pull Vontae Davis, retire mid game. Just be like, I'm out. This was
I'm
fun.
thankful he didn't do that to at least us.
Oh my god,
That's a tough one. And
what a legend. R.I.P.
RIP.
But
Speaking of legends, shout out to Chris Forrester, man. We haven't shouted him out in a while.
What?
Travis.
He came up in conversation the other day. I'm like, bro, I love him.
You guys are wild. Will Johnson, Jade. The second round guys are pretty good. I mean, you like the FSU kid. You were talking about him.
I like Trey Amos, and I think Maxwell Hairston's very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Only because he's 183 pounds, and I mean, if I can help it, I'd like my corners around 200, if I can help it. But it is a smaller league. You have that cat playing for Washington, Forbes. He's like 170 pounds, and he's doing all right.
Well, no, he got cut by them and got picked up. He looks like he's Ethiopian.
He's got he's tough.
There's also a mid-round guy that reminds me of the dog is Kobe Bryant.
I love Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
very
not
sneaky.
spelled the same way, but literally his name Kobe Bryant, which kills me.
Maxwell Harrison on the 4-2-8, just very, very zone coverage oriented. Not going to ask him to run press man.
Yeah, so you named your son Liam when you could have named him Kobe Bryant, and then really set the bar high for him, you know?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You could have Jay Ajayi where?
There's the kid from Iowa State. Didn't play a lot in college, but he's like 6'3", like 190. Darian Porter. He got like a 9.9 RAS score. You know, that athletic is pretty absurd. I do think there's some good corners, but I think you guys are right.
When it comes to these kind of corners, it seems like you get one or the other. They either have a lot of game experience against high-end talent, like Barron, like Will Johnson, or they look like really cool projects. They just don't really have the reps like that against the big guys. Do you trust our coaching staff to develop the guys that look like projects and haven't played against the big guys?
I just trust talent, man. I think that a guy like Will Johnson is
automatic.
I don't think he's not a Patrick, that level, but he's kind of like as long as he stays healthy, he seems like a pretty sure shot, national champion winner.
Needs to stay healthy.
Guarded all the Ohio State guys year in, year out, where to them.
Two-time All-American.
Right?
Yeah, he's incredible. I will say that. He's incredible.
We just watched Barron do it this year. Got challenged to move from safety to corner. You're not going to upset me, but here's my thing, guys. We have so many needs. I do think that, so hypothetically, draft happens. Best situation for us is Shedeur falls out of the top 5 and keeps coming down. It forces the hand. Maybe the Saints jump on it. Okay. Now people are panicking and they go, okay, we got to make a move. What if somebody calls, ring, ring, both those guys, Johnson's gone, Barron's on the ball, all your safeties. Somebody calls you, the Seahawks
you said all
call,
my safeties are gone?
All your safeties are there, and Barron's there. So you've got one true corner who kind of is technically a hybrid, and then all your safeties, but you're at 13. Would you make the jump down? Like, would you trade back with Seattle, pick up like a second or third rounder to jump down to 18? Would you jump down to 21 with the Steelers, maybe pick up a few first or second? Who knows? Like, what is your thought?
How many safeties do you consider our guys? Do you consider that Starks and Emenwari, or do you consider Watson there too? Because that's 4 players.
Watson isn't a first rounder to me. I think you can maybe get Watts at 48. He's not athletically as good as the other two. My problem with this, and I didn't text you it today because I want to talk to you about it tonight, is Emenwari is an athletic freak, but he's a box strong safety. We kind of got 2 of those with the guys we signed. Malachi Starks is going to give you what you lost with Javon, who's more of a center field and can come down to the nickel.
This is also a position that is just like what I said earlier about the corner thing, is that if you are going to kind of piggyback on what Zach's saying and answer your question, Sut, if you are going to, you have to choose between these two different types of defenders, the guys who are like polished or the guys who look like the ceiling's high, they might be freaks, or I do trust the coaching staff, especially in the DB department. We've gone through plenty of DB coaches, and that's been a strong suit of our team for a while now. But I don't think you take the risk at all. This isn't project time. This is like these are 2 positions they need to come in and play.
You need a starter.
You're looking for a high floor, not a high ceiling.
But you need
multiple. Starks is the pick at 13.
Or if Will Johnson's there.
Either one, but either one. That's the pick. Obviously,
I'm
unless
trading-
Will
I'm
Campbell falls.
risking it. If it's me, I said this to you guys today. I've got, the two O linemen who I don't think will be there, but if they fell, I think if Will Campbell fell, I would moving him inside to guard, and he'd probably be a Zach Martin
Perennial All-Pro. Yeah.
level type guard, right? Membu from Missouri, I'd play him at guard. I would play him at guard year one, and then let Jackson walk and move him to right tackle in year two. Those are the two O linemen I would run the pick in. We won't do this. Like this is not what the Dolphins. This is what I would do.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. We're gonna go Shaven Rayville out of ECU at 13.
Johnson, I would run in the pick. I'd probably run in the pick for Barron at this
Real
point.
person.
I'm falling in love with him. I'm not doing it for the safeties, guys. I do not value safety enough. I will risk trading back to get another second, third, or fourth round pick into the late teens, early 20s of the first. I will grab whatever safety's there, or I'll even consider Kenneth Grant, the D tackle from Michigan. And then I'll go grab your boy Watts in round 2. I need 3 to 4 surefire starters, and we have the 13th, 48th, and 98th pick. You can't get 4 starters from 3. You need another top 100.
You're playing with fire, I think, moving back from 13 and trying to bank on Starks being there, though.
What does it matter?
I will say this.
It's got so much parity in it. There's no elite talents outside of the top 5.
So if you go back from 13 to maybe like that Pittsburgh vicinity, like 2021, and you were able to land Barron there, who can start, he can start right away, and you're not reaching taking him there. You're not reaching taking him there. Most of the mocks had him going like 26, 27. Some had him going like 15.
I think Johnson's the only one. Johnson's the only one that I think isn't probably gonna drop out of like the top 15.
Right.
Even though there are some reports today that he may. Actually,
it.
Amos, your boy Amos is getting first round love, saying he may.
I mean, he's very good, and he can play zone or man. He hasn't missed 2 seasons.
Too high for even any of the safeties. I don't.
But check me out.
Yeah.
So let's say you trade back, you get Barron at 20-ish. You get an extra second, third, whatever they finesse out of that, and then you go Watts in the second round. Do you have 2 starters right there?
Done. Now go find a defensive tackle
to start.
Draft one and then get one in the free agency.
Gives you, because they're not going to give you a second. They don't have a second. I'm sorry, they traded it for DK.
That was a hypothetical. It doesn't have to be Pittsburgh, but someone in that vicinity. Pittsburgh's probably not trading up to 13.
Dude, if Shador's on the board, first off, I'm not taking Shador in any circumstance, especially knowing he's actually probably comparable to Tua in
every way.
I don't know about everywhere, but some circumstances.
Not injury
prone. He's way more mobile. I don't know how he's not injury prone, but yeah, because he's gets
tough.
Massacred.
that hit he had, was it the bowl game?
He gets massacred on the regular, and you just see him get back up, and you're like, "There's no way."
But if Pittsburgh at 21, who is quarterbackless, and you know that he kind of fits, and that would be probably a good thing with Tomlin. Dude, if they called you and they say, "Okay, GM Sut, I'm going to trade you the 21st, the 83rd, third rounder next year for your 13th pick."
What did my boy Dan Marino say in the commercial? F it, send it in.
Fuck it, send it in.
And to answer your question, Ouch, yes, Shavon Revell is a real player. He's good. He is. He's good. He looks like Sauce Gardner, but jacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a torn ACL this year, didn't play, but there's good stuff. Dude,
and he's never played against.
Upset me with that combination. It wouldn't upset me with a, say you do stay at 13, you take Malachi Starks. Okay, cool. Then you're at 48, and you take Trey Amos. Okay, that like combination. Amos. I'm good with that. But again, then you're leveraging everything, and your D line is pretty tight. My ideal scenario, if I could just tell you, is that trade back. Let's say in this ideal world, it's Seattle, and we drop from 13 to 18, and we take Barron.
Okay.
And Seattle gives us their third round pick. So in the second round at 48, I take Alfred Collins, the D tackle from Texas. He's
Texas. So we've hooked them
Texas.
twice.
We wanted both of them last year, and we missed out. And look at them; they're both studs. Murphy and Devontae Sweat, both
God
studs.
damn, we did.
We wanted both of them. This guy backed him up. This guy is one of 5 players in the combine to register 85-inch wingspan.
Jesus.
He's 6'5", 330.
Can he play tackle?
He plays nose tackle.
Yeah, no, can he play offensive tackle?
Yeah, he might be able to.
He can play whatever we want him to play.
We need him to play 2 ways.
He's a beast. So then you got your cornerback. I like these Texas defense. You got your cornerback, specialty secondary guy. You've got your D tackle. And
Schematically, he's a great Javon replacement when you factor the fact that he moved from safety to play corner and he can play in the nickel. Because technically, you can put him in packages.
Circumstances too.
Great again. So schematically, great replacement for both.
But now you move back into your third round. You have your Seattle third round, and then you have your true 98. What I would do here is if there's a safety, and you're not probably going to get Xavier Watts at this point, Sut, but maybe it's
Lathan Ransom.
Lathan Ransom. Maybe it's Billy
Ohio
Bowman.
State. Andrew
Billy
Makuba.
Makuba.
Sounds like the key and Peele
or
right now.
Makuba played at Texas too. Lathan Ransom was OSU.
I believe in, which is you go find the best offensive guard, which could be a Tate Radlich from Georgia, who looks literally like our boy Creed Humphrey. The other kid from Georgia.
That's fake. That's a fake name.
That's a name in NCAA for sure.
Can you pull up a picture of him and share it on the screen set while we're talking about it?
Yeah,
the other Georgia guard is named Dylan Fairchild. These guys are
this is an offensive lineman. This is Will Compton.
Yeah, this guy is ridiculous. Miles Frazier from LSU. I mean, these are literally you should be taking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bring him here.
Bring him in. Let's check the
He scored like a 9.9 again RAS score. He's not just a good looking man.
I like these RAS scores. Do you want to explain to the audience that might not understand what the RAS scores are?
So it's measuring. It's all the measurables from height, weight, arm length, hand size, and then it measures all your combine results and testing. So like your 40, your 10-yard, your vertical, your broad.
He ran a sub 540.
When you're an O lineman, though, the big things you're watching is like your 10-yard split. They want you to be like a sub 1.75 is usually a good number.
Yep, 1.72.
3 cone is ideal. They want to make sure you got obviously a good shuttle run, bench press. If their arms are healthy enough. So those are the things they're looking for. I would say this guy is probably a round 2, round 3 guy.
He was a 5-star out of high school. Nice.
Other thing to consider if you're going to get rid of Tyreek, I think there's some second, third round wide receivers that I would consider. You already know where I'm going with it. Where am I going?
We get a king's ransom for packaging together Tyreek and Ramsey.
As long as he gets his Jack Beck.
Jack Betch, that boy, Jack Betch.
I'm thinking the Arizona kid.
What did Steve Smith say about him? Have you checked his analysis on him? I actually like Steve's breakdowns.
Smith has some nice things, but you know who Steve Smith's in love with is the Colorado State kid that ate Travis Hunter alive, Corey Horton.
Hey, that kid's cold.
6'3", 195 receiver from Colorado State returns punts. Trory Horton. Pretty nasty. But Steve Smith's in love with him. I like the kid from Stanford.
Where is he projected to be taken?
Like 3rd, 4th round.
Okay.
He's projected to go higher than Restrepo.
Cornrows, return punts.
A little bit higher than Tez Johnson.
I
was
like
the kid
so
that
you
was,
see these guys right here. So you see Ty Felton from Maryland.
Yeah, he's athletic.
Nice. Pat Bryan blocks his ass off. He's like a big guy.
Sam
Tez Johnson won me a parlay one time.
Go up for me.
Tez Johnson is the kid that grew up with Bo Nix.
This kid, Elik Ayumanor, Canadian kid, played for Stanford. Big. Run blocks like a dog.
That's what I read. I'm like, Elik. Oh, if he's out here blocking, let's pull up some
Ayumanor. Sounds like something out of like Game of Thrones, like Lord of the Rings type of shit.
11-minute highlight reel. Oh, is that him on Travis?
Look at him, Moss and Travis. He put 294 on Travis Hunter. 294.
294 on Travis.
Travis Hunter, 2 years ago.
Damn, this is a highlight reel just on Colorado.
This is wild. Look at these. 6'2" beast.
he's
This is
pretty
like
big.
Puka Nakua stuff. If we wanted a Puka Nakua on our team, who wouldn't?
I mean, we've still needed
And
a
he's been
physical
playing with
guy out
Stanford
of the slot.
quarterbacks. Like, look at this guy. This guy looks like a boner. Terrible. Look at it.
Oh, look, did we just get some
Look at
yak,
this.
boys?
Look at
Yak
out
City?
running
Come on,
Shiloh Sanders.
Shiloh.
Get out of here, Shiloh. Get out of here. Stay home.
Yak
Wow.
City, bit. Yak City, bit.
Come on, man.
And this is in Colorado.
Oh.
That's tough.
Yeah, so I think you guys are right. I think you gotta view cornerback. I think cornerback has to be first or second round, one or the other. Like you cannot pass up cornerback and leave that for your 98th overall pick and think you're
And
gonna.
you know there's going to be some injuries to that room this year.
What's that?
Always.
You know there's going to be some injuries to that room this year as well.
Exactly. So go get a surefire guy if he's there. I get it. I just think, with how many needs we have at various positions, I think if you can find another top 100 pick, that's probably the move you need to make. These wide receivers I'm talking about, I mean, these are all if you're getting rid of Tyreek. If you're not, it's just a wasted pick that's probably going to, sit on the bench. I do think Nick Westbrook. We didn't.
Nick Westbrook, what?
Nick Westbrook
Akine.
Akine. We haven't really talked about that addition either, but that is a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I mean, those are two guys that are better than the options we had last year. Full season of Tyrell Dodson with Willie Gay back. Linebacker sounds a lot better to me than it did with David Long missing every tackle. I don't know. So, I know we're down on the season, but to try to find some silver lining, I do think there's a couple positions we may be with. This guy's not. You seen this?
Yeah.
6'4".
What did he run at the combine?
9.93 RAS score or something like that. It's absurd.
I was gonna say I like him. I saw a couple of the games during the season.
I'm good with white wide receivers. We're on a hot streak right now.
And
Whites
he's
are
big.
hot. Right
He's big as hell.
now. Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Isaac Tesla for the record, because maybe we should just start recording the screen and letting that be the video, and we don't really matter. But yeah, this guy's actually pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean,
What was his 40 time though? Not just his RAS score.
I think it was like 4.44 something like that. But for a
Okay.
6'3" guy, it's pretty good.
He looks like he's running slow though.
Does he?
To me,
I mean, he's massive.
he's just
He's going to have
big.
long strides, but
No, this camera guy's stinks.
ass. Yeah.
Oh, there's my boy Taylon Green right there.
Like he runs like just straight up.
This Arkansas quarterback I love, number 10.
Oh, Taylor Green?
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
He
he's
is the biggest boomer bust
cold.
guy I've seen in like a long time. But
And it's crazy they got a big yacked ass like black dude as the Arkansas
nice catch.
quarterback.
Those are good hands.
He's nasty if you play NCAA 25 too. Very high speed. You just take off. Doink.
ooh.
Can you do me a favor? I know it's not sexy, but can you
Yeah.
put on can you just put on like a Tate Ratledge highlight real quick?
Is he physical?
I just need to see I need to see a pancake block. Make me happy.
Like, he runs like a deer. Woo!
I'll take a deer, man.
Out at the one though. That's what I'm saying. He's not that. He doesn't
We
look
need
that
some
fast.
size out there, man. We don't have anything in terms
Now,
of that.
and I would like to throw it out there that I do find big offensive line plays sexy. I'm not just like I need big offensive blasts as like.
Who doesn't need an offensive
excitement.
lineman with a mullet number 69?
I love to see some
Yeah.
power run properly and see somebody get caked. I love
That's what it's
good.
telling me
Love
on.
a good cake.
Look at this.
Oh yeah,
Look
we're
at this.
climbing to
Look
the
at this.
third level. Give them something to eat.
Bye.
Big
Bye.
on little.
Look at this.
Big wins.
Look at this. Bye. The guy
Oh,
should have
yeah.
broke it.
Drive your goddamn feet.
Look at that. Boom. Hold it up. You like that? Come on.
Stick
crush
him
it.
up. Give me your lunch money, kid.
Yeah. By the
Stick
way,
him
this is
up.
Clemson. This is Clemson. They're playing that typically have a bevy of first round picks
First round nose tackles. Yeah.
over there,
Kid
just
dropped
providing
it.
it in the
Nice.
pocket. God, Georgia's offense is so rough.
Yeah.
They were
Carson
so
Beck.
up
He's
and down.
He's
Carson
stout.
Beck.
But hey, so the other guy I was talking about is this 53 guy across from him at left guard. His name's Dylan Fair. Both of them are like second to fourth, fifth round picks.
But starters, serviceable.
3-year starters at Georgia, man. In my opinion, that's probably as best you can get in terms of like.
You're playing against all the NFL talent anyway.
These
when
are
you-
4 or
Robert Hunt,
5 star
baby.
recruits that start in the SEC. I mean, what are we? You know, we've tried the Notre Dame route. I don't think I can.
Robert Hunt is an
line.
anomaly. He's just a guy.
Oh, boy.
Didn't get recruited very well. Didn't like set himself up for that. He wasn't like lined
Picking
up
up
to
a
play the
combo
game.
block there. I haven't seen an offensive guard for us
He was
pick
a
up
Georgia
a combo.
guy.
Look at him climb. Look at him climb. Oh yeah, get some smoke.
Go Dogs.
Go down.
I think a guy like that makes a lot of sense in the second, third round if he's available there.
You like the mullet and the fact that he wears 69.
I like
It's a good selling point.
I just like some physical guys. I don't really believe in this outside zone, especially now.
Imagine how much better the outside zone scheme would look with physical guys.
He's standing these boys up.
He's mean, dude.
Like in the pass blocking, like
How many,
I'm not
how many
the best
times
with the
have we
technique.
seen? How many times have we pounded the table for a Creed Humphrey, a Quinn Miners, knowing that they're nasty and gonna excel, and then we don't, and then they go on to be all pros, and we're stuck with a rotation of Rob Hunt, not Rob Hunt, was Rob Jones.
Whoa. Yeah,
I know, Rob
I
Hunt's
thought Rob
great.
Jones was your boy.
I know, Rob
he
Hunt
was a Rob Jones guy for a minute, but one day,
I did have a
one
bold
day you
prediction that
stopped.
wait.
Uh-oh.
How much did Rob Jones get paid by the
You called him
Cowboys?
Rob Jones professional guard, if I remember
Bob.
correctly.
Hey, I said at the beginning of the season in our bold predictions, not as bold as 15-2 record. I'm pretty sure I said Rob Jones is going to play well enough this year to get himself a 3-year contract, probably upwards of $7 million a year. And I'm going to check right now because he did get signed by the Cowboys this year. And I need to find out what he made because
I think this
So I know we're
ETN's
getting
better.
close.
Oh,
We're getting
not
close
even
to wrapping
close.
it up
He
when
did
we
get
start Googling Robert
4.75
Jones.
million for 1 year though. That's not too bad.
How much?
4.7.
Yeah, well.
Not bad. Not
I
bad.
could have done a lot with that money.
Well, one thing I'm gonna do leading up to next week, like I like to do every year, is I'll have my first round predicted mock, but I'll draft up a little 7-rounder that we can post on our page,
Uh-oh.
X page, whatever you want to call it, and see what happens.
It's called Twitter.
Yeah, but I think-
Armand Mumbai.
I feel like we all agree in the sense that secondary is a huge glaring need.
LB straight.
Look
You
at
could have made the point to
Matt
say it was a
Dickerson.
need before Ramsey.
Who the hell is Matt Dickerson?
When has Matt Dickerson ever
He has
played?
never
for us?
played an NFL game. I'm pretty sure who Tennessee, Las Vegas, Arizona, Kansas.
Practice squad guy.
Hold on.
He's just getting bounced
He got
around for
waived
practice
every
squads.
3 months. Every 3 months this past year, he got.
That's horrible, man. And he's
literally
probably not
college.
making a lot of money. You know what I mean?
College.
He's probably living in
collarbone.
an RV outside of all these different places.
Down by
Jesus.
the river. Where did he go
Yeah,
to
it's tough.
school?
UCLA.
Never heard of this guy.
Never.
I would love to use the Major League quote if you ever seen that movie where they're like, "Who the f are these guys?" This is like literally how I feel.
Need to continue to add to his frame. Stay healthy.
Wow, that should be our
There it
team
is.
slogan on the wall. Stay healthy. Love Chris Greer.
And refine his skill set. Yeah, that everyone needs to refine their skill set. You can say that about anyone, but stay healthy seems like it's a need if you're going to be a Dolphin.
If Chris Greer was walking down a hallway and you were walking down would you
I'd
say
treat him
anything?
like my least favorite politician. They'd have to remove me with security.
You know, sometimes the players that are always playing and always around, even though they might not be as athletic or jump off the film as crazily, at least you can count on them and at least they're consistent. And you can game plan around that consistency. If you know they're not an elite pass rusher, but they're pretty good, you just don't have them lined up to the strong side, whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be all these high risk, high reward ass players because we haven't really been hitting at all.
Yep. That's what my point was earlier. We need to go back to getting a couple surefire, you know what you're going to get out of them.
Locks.
This roster is missing a lot of those players.
Yeah, I hope for everything that is holy, Chop Robinson brings it against year 2. I think he will. He seems like he's legit. But an unproductive year 2 out of him would really, really suck.
Well, April 24th is coming fast. And then what? I guess that's the next time we're going to get together, huh? After the draft?
Yeah, I think we'll do a recap. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll have an update on, you know, some players being traded to talk about. You know, that's something, you know, if it does happen before the draft, that add to the well. I think, you know, the one thing I do want to say is, you know, if we are going to do this rebuild that's not being called, but I'm glad we're, you know, don't do it too late. I mean, you probably still can get value out of a Ramsey who had a productive 2024. Even still a Tyreek who's been a 1,700-yard back-to-back receiver with us. I think he even had 1,000 yards last year despite the injuries and just being, you know, kind of in and out of sorts. But I would do it now, man. I don't think, you know, whether we keep Ramsey or not, I don't competing for a division championship. Sure, shit going to put us further back, but go ahead and get the picks, get ready for a new GM and probably a new head coach as well, right? Going into next year and make it happen.
It's unpredictable if that's going to happen or not. I feel like if we could say it for many other teams, you'd be able to call the shot on if the coach and the GM are going to be there. Most often, you just never know with what's going on over here.
Not with this team.
Yep.
No idea.
Any other last words, Sut? Is that a no? No more words?
That's
No
about
more
all I.
words.
That's about all I got. Yeah,
Okay.
it's really exciting. I will say my favorite part is like digging into the prospects and like watching all these guys that all these other teams are going to draft, and like being able to say later, like, oh man, I watched that guy's film before he came out. I knew he was going to be pretty good. I do it with the intention of hoping we take them, almost like we have any sort of say in it. But as we've seen for years, if we did have any say in it, this team would be in much better shape.
Yeah, we'll hear about it retroactively. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure 3 of the guys that Zach named so far will go to another team, and one of them will be a steal for one of those 3 teams. And they'll beat us in a regular season game where our playoff hopes are on the line, and we'll circle back and talk about it, right?
There it is.
So until next time, make sure you follow Sut, follow me, follow Zach on the X app, formerly known as Twitter. Follow the podcast at Day One Dolphins. We'll see you after the draft.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're